Hey everyone, me Kevin here with Luigi, and a quick and late stimulus check update for round number 2. Also, quick note, Tesla just had its battery day complete. I posted a complete recap of that. You could watch the entire 14-minute thing that I condensed down, and stay tuned for a stock breakdown of that coming soon. You might have to check though, because YouTube isn't sending all the notifications. Okay, here's what's going on. House Democrats and Republicans just reached a deal. Nancy Pelosi and Treasury Secretary Mnuchin, as the lead negotiators in this, just reached a deal, not on stimulus, unfortunately, but to avoid a government shutdown. The government was getting ready to shut down in about 8 days, and this has been taking up a lot of attention between Nancy Pelosi and Mnuchin right now, which we want to keep them focused on stimulus. Right now, the House is planning on voting tonight. Today's September 22nd. They're planning on voting tonight, so you'll probably see a headline when you wake up or late tonight that something has passed the House, and this is good news. Then it'll get voted on in the Senate, and it's widely expected to pass the Senate without any amendments, or if there's an amendment, it'll be something small. Then it'll get sent to Trump for signatures. This is great because, again, we were 8 days away from another government shutdown, and that's the last thing we need in 2020. It also helps pave the way for future stimulus. More on stimulus in just a moment, but let me go ahead and read you Nancy Pelosi's statement just so you can see what basically was agreed upon. Nancy Pelosi stated, "We have reached an agreement with Republicans on the continuing resolution," that's the CR, "to add nearly $8 billion in desperately needed nutrition assistance for hungry school children and families. We also increased accountability in the Commodity Credit Corporation, preventing funds for farmers from being misused for a big oil bailout." So it sounds like they basically just cleaned up some verbiage to make sure that this wasn't like a blank check, because while Democrats got $8 billion in food, Republicans were clamoring for $30 billion in farm aid. And so it sounds like they just needed to sort of wordsmith the continuing resolution a little bit. The further quote goes on to say, quote, "To help the millions of families struggling to keep food on the table during the pandemic, Democrats have renewed the vital expiring lifeline of pandemic EBT for a full year and enabled fellow Americans in territories to receive this critical nutrition assistance. Democrats secured urgently needed assistance for school children to receive meals despite the coronavirus's disruption of their usual schedules, whether virtual or in person, and expanded pandemic EBT access for young children in childcare. We also extended key flexibilities for states to lower administrative requirements for SNAP." Okay, great. So look, if you have not yet taken advantage of some of these options, you've got the pandemic EBT that you can take advantage of for food if you need help with food. Even if you just need to help save some money, take advantage of these things. In the description down below, remember, we have the summer food program information where you can get free food if you're 18 or younger or have children 18 or younger. All that information is in the description down below. And of course, if you have not yet found out if you qualify for SNAP, dial 211 and find out if you qualify for the SNAP food program. There is absolutely no shame in taking support in the middle of a pandemic. On stimulus, a growing group of Democrats in the House are ready to endorse a GOP resolution to vote on a Paycheck Protection Program bill immediately. Possibly as soon as Friday, but in Congress's world, that's immediately. This would be an extension of the Paycheck Protection Program and would require 218 signatures to pass, which is a simple majority. However, there are only 198 Republicans in the House. This means a group of around 20 Democrats would have to flip to join Republicans in passing this additional PPP funding legislation. This could also then hurt Nancy Pelosi's larger effort to get a $2.2 trillion package passed. And Nancy Pelosi has consistently shot down the idea of piecemeal negotiations or piecemeal leverage passing. Earlier today, Mark Meadows said during an interview with Fox that we might have to do piecemeal negotiations to bypass Nancy Pelosi. Maybe this is what he meant. Remember, Nancy Pelosi believes any individual bill that gets passed on stimulus, whether it's for schools, or it's for liability, or it's for PPP, or it's for unemployment, is basically something that takes away from the large package that Nancy Pelosi wants. Nancy Pelosi just wants one large package. She doesn't want little packages. This petition could force a vote as soon as Friday, and $25 billion of this next round of PPP funding would be earmarked for businesses with less than 10 employees to prevent larger businesses from going in and swooping all the funds. This is likely a long shot to pass, but they only need 19 to 20, there's some semantics there, but roughly 19 to 20 Democrats to join. And just the idea of these 19 to 20 Democrats potentially defecting from Nancy Pelosi could get her budging on the next stimulus package. Remember, right now, Donald Trump says he's willing to sign a $2 trillion deal. Republicans are pretty warmed up to the idea of that $1.5 trillion Problem Solvers Caucus proposal, which boosts up to $1.9 trillion. Trump's at 2, Nancy Pelosi's at 2.2. If 19 to 20 Democrats are ready to flip and join Republicans and start doing piecemeal legislation, think about what could happen. It literally means Nancy Pelosi loses all of her power because Republicans in the House could go, let's do a PPP bill. Oh, pass the House, goes to the Senate, passes the Senate, which is Republican controlled, goes to Trump, boom, they get that signed. Oh, well, let's do a liability bill. Boom, goes through the House, passes the Senate, goes up to the president. See what I mean? Like, all you need is 19 to 20 Democrats to flip in the House out of 435 people who are in the House, or, well, 232 Democrats who are in the House, and boom, there you go. You start getting piecemeal legislation flying through the presses. This would be very bad and create a lot of pressure for Nancy Pelosi, and there are a lot of moderate Democrats who are saying, you know what, we need to get something done because we've got an election coming up. This means this potential discharge petition, that's what it's called, a discharge petition. I don't know why they name these things, these weird things, but basically they circumvent the leadership and force a vote with the minority party taking control of that vote. This could be something that ends up finally pushing Nancy Pelosi into a corner to say, look, we're either going to go piecemeal or go big package, but do something. Get off that $2.2 trillion number. Let's get some stimulus. To me, I see this as good news. This morning I was not very optimistic, but I like this undercurrent pushing against Nancy Pelosi because we need budging. We need Republicans to budge and we need Democrats to budge. And right now we're not getting a lot of budging. Just something crack already. We just want a package. Now, with the government shutdown basically averted soon, we still got to vote, so I guess knock on wood. With the government shutdown almost averted and the Supreme Court nomination coming at 5 p.m. this Saturday, we might be able to ensure that the slate is clean and we could just go back to stimulus talks. On the Supreme Court and the election, Donald Trump has stated, quote, "We need 9 justices. You need that with the unsolicited millions of ballots that they're sending. It's a scam." Basically, Trump is saying we need 9 justices on the Supreme Court to decide the election in case the election is rigged. In fact, he said specifically, quote, "So you're going to need 9 justices up there. I think it's going to be very important because what they're doing is a hoax with the ballots." Furthermore, Mitt Romney now supports Republicans, and it's very likely that Republicans will approve Donald Trump's pick for the Supreme Court prior to the election. According to the Associated Press, the current expectations are that we can hold confirmation hearings as soon as October 12th, and likely vote on a judge as soon as October 29th. That gives just about 2 weeks to actually have confirmation hearings. So far, it also seems that Mitch McConnell now has all of the votes he needs, especially with Mitt Romney now expressing his support. Some Republicans also see the Supreme Court pick as a way to boost their election chances. Furthermore, Michelle Obama stated today on an Instagram live stream, quote, "Voting is easy. It is something that we can do. Don't listen to people who say that somehow voting is rigged and your vote will get lost and it won't be counted. That's not true." Well, there you have it, folks. If you like this video, please consider sharing it. Make sure to get your life insurance in as little as 5 minutes via the link down below. Get a free stock when you deposit $100 with Webull, and use that expiring coupon code for the amazing programs down below on real estate, investing, money, and of course, making YouTube videos. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time.